So let's talk about nutrition when you're wanting to increase your lean body mass, right? When we're trying to grow our muscles. So first of all, let's go just straight calories. We've got to have a surplus of calories so that we can devote that towards building new tissue, right? So our body is always there's a kind of tug of war going on between building things up and breaking them down, and we need both of those things, right? So that our body can recycle and repair damaged tissues and just function normally, right? We need some amount of turnover in our body. And then we just need a certain amount of energy on a daily basis to run basic processes, right? Keep our heart pumping and make sure that we can digest our food and that everything else is working. And so that's just our basal metabolic rate, right? How much do I need just to keep the lights on? And then, we add in, how much activity am I going to be doing and what amount of exercise am I going to be doing? And so, that's another caloric need. And then to actually build new tissue, we need a little bit more calories beyond that. And so there's some evidence that you can build muscle on a caloric deficit. It's harder. There's more things working against you. And so to create the optimum environment for muscle growth, we want to have a surplus of calories. 2 is protein, right? We need protein to build muscle. It's the building block of structure in our bodies. And so what that looks like for most people is 30 to 40 grams of protein a meal, spaced out between like 3 to 5 meals and a couple snacks. So the actual scientific recommendations seem to center around 1.6 grams per kilogram. So kilograms, you take your body weight divided by 2.2 and then multiply that by 1.6, and that'll give you the number of grams of protein that you should have on a daily basis. Some studies show up to 2.2 or 2.4 grams per kilogram in building muscle, but for the vast majority of people, that 1.6 probably is enough. 1.6 to 1.8 is probably enough for most people. So just getting sufficient protein so that our body has enough to build all those other building blocks, bone and enzymes and other structure of cells, and then again, building muscle. But when we're talking about building muscle, the single biggest factor is resistance exercise. So we want to have consistent exercise, right? The consistency is always huge in any type of exercise because it's going to give our body that stimulus that it needs to adapt. And if we exercise in a way that doesn't allow us to be consistent and to kind of adhere to the training program in general, then we're probably going to struggle to make progress. And so, am I getting regular resistance exercise? Am I doing enough that it's causing that stimulus to adapt? So that's kind of the biggest thing. So if I have that piece in, then the protein is that next piece down. But by and large, that resistance training, getting that in regularly, is going to be the biggest piece of the puzzle. And then also, after you work out, taking in some carbohydrate, right? That'll help you to recover better. That helps in the building process. And so just making sure we're getting enough of that. And then obviously just eating a balanced diet. So carbs, fats, protein in a balanced way, higher protein, and then getting enough fiber to keep our digestive system working well, and then getting all the vitamins, minerals, other nutrients to make sure that our body can process things optimally and function at its best. And so, by no means you need to be perfect. If you check out the All About Protein video, we'll dive in a little bit more into some of the specifics of protein. But those are kind of your biggest things, right? Am I getting enough calories? Am I getting enough protein? Am I doing regular resistance training to take advantage of what I'm doing on the nutrition side? And when those components are in place, then it's typically a lot easier to build muscle.